So what I would love, because I want to hear it as well. I've read your journey of 365 and the K2Fit challenge, which is how you
Yeah.
won the trip to Bali. What trip to Bali and retreat with the coaches. Amazing. But I'd love to hear in your words what you achieved in that 10 weeks and then like what you've achieved over, like the last couple months. Well, couple months. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh boy. I was just thinking I should look up what did I actually send to you?
Yeah.
Um,
What story did I tell?
um, oh, there it is. Okay. I probably should have looked at that before.
That's okay.
Um, well, you know what it's been like to be in China with
Mhm.
COVID
Yeah.
and the restriction on channel. So we saw that like very sudden change in our lifestyle that we'd gotten used to. And there's a lot of uncertainty. There was are you going to be quarantined? Is it lockdown? Are you going to be locked down? Are you going to be able to do this and that? Are you going to be online? And all of these things. And unfortunately, my coping mechanism really became wine
Mm.
and comfort foods at night. And uh, it was just all I could manage, or that was just the easiest. It was just like you come home at the end of the day, you're tired, you just want things that are comforting and normal. But we got to this summer and we had made the decision that this is going to be our final year in China. So I kind of knew that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, something that we were looking forward to. And going back home to Montana also means like the mountains and hiking and trails and skiing and all this outdoor stuff that we want to do. But in the meantime, I'm here in China and I'm running out of clothes because they are not fitting anymore. Um, and it's hard to buy clothes here. And I also wasn't feeling very good, even though, you'd have a glass or two or three at night. It didn't mean that I was waking up feeling good and like, going up 3 flights of stairs to the bedroom would leave me winded and just low energy. And I have these really energetic kids. And so this summer it got to a point where I'm like, I have to do something. Like I don't have any more clothes to wear. Like I need something
Yeah.
needs to give. And on my wine chat, somebody posted K2Fit Coach Kara advertising
That's where we get them.
about the 10-week challenge. So, I still think that's so funny. That's how I found you.
I know.
But it worked.
Love it.
And I started like, looking at your stuff and all your promos and the social media. And I'm like, I like this girl. Like she seems down to earth. She seems normal. And she understands the expat lifestyle, which is really what kind of appealed to me. Cause that was the other thing, even before all the COVID and that stuff hit, it's like, you just go on holiday and you're like free for all. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
eat
Yeah.
all the things and drink all the things. And I don't know.
Soul
I'm
food.
just like, she understands the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
The world I live in. And there is that little bit of stress. And so I think, I don't know, a lot of the international school teachers, they can throw down and drink like nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, she gets that. And so I was like, oh, well, this will be fun to, sign up for this challenge. And then I know I signed up for the 10-week challenge and I was like, oh, there's this like, what's that? What's the 365? That's, I was like, that's probably, and I was like, okay, like
Yeah.
10 weeks, I can do 10 weeks. I can make these changes. But I ended up doing the one-to-one coaching call with you. So I actually started a little bit before the challenge.
Yep.
Was able to get my button gear and started with little changes first, like not having a Starbucks caramel macchiato every day,
Big
and
change.
having my Nespresso latte,
Mm-hmm.
but switching from whole milk to skim milk, not adding any extra sugars or syrups, so something little like that. And another like little change was, trying to have a salad
Right.
just at least once a day or at least with one meal. And so kind of, I do like to cook and food prep. So it was like prepping that salad in advance. So it was just easy to, grab a couple, spoonfuls. I don't know.
Yeah.
grab a helping of that. And so there were just kind of these kind of little changes that I was able to start making. And then of course there's the workout programs, which I guess I didn't think they would make as much difference as they did.
Yeah.
But even like I don't know, like you talk about the split training, and you obviously know your things and why you should do them this way, and like these body parts, and then the rest stays in between. And so like I actually started following, I was better about following that than the food initially, but and that made all the difference. Like
Yeah.
um
I just have to say thanks for having
yeah.
faith in my programs at the beginning, bud. Yeah, I didn't think they'd do much.
I'd done some exercise before, but I don't know, or if I don't know, but I could follow that. Like, even though it
Yeah.
meant getting up at crazy when work started, but I was like, that was the one thing that I really committed to,
Right.
was
Yeah.
following the workout plan. And
Right.
that has a little bit of that snowball effect. Like, that feels good. And so you want to kind of keep
Do more.
that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Doing more. And so that's probably where I saw the most difference. And even if it wasn't weight loss initially, it was that feeling better, feeling stronger.
Yeah.
There was one of the ab exercises. The first time I came across it, I was like, yeah, I'm not getting up from this position. There's no way I can go from being sprawled out to like curled up. No, it's not happening. But then like a month later, could.
Right.
And so seeing that, and like
That's
the
cool.
weights, I'm like, yeah, I need something heavier too.
Yeah.
And running up to the top floor now is not a big deal.
That's cool. Like seeing that like strength and the fitness go up. And
yes.
honestly, I think your first like 4 weeks, the body, a lot of the time people are like, and weight loss should happen immediately. But when you're doing strength training and you're building more lean mass, you're reducing your body fat. You just don't necessarily see it on the scale. So you're getting fitter, you're getting leaner, you're getting tighter. The scale doesn't necessarily tell you that at first. And then the weight loss starts to happen. It's almost like it's a warm-up period. And that's when people on the 10-week challenge, unfortunately, we do lose some people because of course we can't 100% of the people don't always make it, but a high percentage do. But at 4 weeks, I don't know if you noticed, like I was constantly telling people, you're going to see more results. Results are just around the corner. Results are just around the corner. Because at week 4, people get discouraged because they're like, oh, I'm not seeing the scale change, but they don't realize the foundation they're putting in. Like you said, you could do the X and O, or in Canada, I call them snow angels and snowballs, by the way. So you couldn't do the X and O on day 1, but a couple weeks later, you could do it because
I could do it.
You practice, you're stronger, you're fitter.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
And then of course the other thing is that the 80-20, because like I love food, and I do love wine, and I love the whole variety. I love the junk food and the processed, but I also love like fine dining and all of that. And so I don't want to give that up. Like, I don't want to give up wine altogether, and I don't want to give up lattes and good food.
Things you enjoy.
Things I enjoy. And it is such a social thing as well. And so, but what I found, and again, I think I still have more that I could do on my food journey and balancing that. But especially when I started the challenge and some of that, I'm like, I can deal with this. I was like, I don't feel completely deprived. Like, I've never wanted to do one of the diets where it's like no salt or no sugar or no carbs or no whatever it is. Because I'm like, that just makes me want it all the more. And then I'll sit down with an entire bag of chips and eat the entire thing, as opposed to like having a small bowl or something. And so I felt like I said, I feel like I still have more work to do there, but I am getting closer to that. Like, I was able to have like just one glass of wine at night, and that was okay. Or just like a little thing of whiskey, and that was okay, instead of the entire bottle.
But these are the changes we want to see, right? That you can still enjoy the foods and still lose weight, still hit your goals, not crash diet and do that roller coaster thing that everybody does, or thinks that they have to cut like a one whole food group out. Like
Yeah.
it's just no good. Pop-Tarts is a
Or
food, right?
yeah, that
Pop-Tarts.
counts. Oh, I was thinking even like I went out. Oh, I took both of my kids out for lunch yesterday because we each did a little individual because they wanted to buy a gift for the other. So it's like I took them out for lunch. So I went out for lunch twice.
Right.
But I knew I was going to do that. So I was like, we were at having pizza, and I was like, okay, I'd like a slice of pizza, but I'm like, I'm also going to get this big salad, and
Mm,
then I'll have one slice of my kids' pizza.
right.
And so, and I was finding myself even like the Friday nights, which is usually pizza and movie nights.
Mm,
I found myself because I always order food that night. And there, I think I told you, I was like, I don't actually want the cheeseburger and fries. Like I found like this quinoa rice bowl, like a kind of
right.
a Mexican, and it was delicious
Mm,
and
yeah.
probably not 100% healthy, but also not 100% not healthy.
Right.
So I did see that things were, even my tastes were starting to change, and I
Yeah,
would want the better things.
that's
No,
cool.
I shouldn't tell you that I've gone the other way right now, but
Yeah.
being sick did not help with that. But that's what reset's for.
Oh, being sick. Yeah. Don't you just want comfort food when you're sick? Ugh,
Yeah, or you don't want much. And
toast,
then there's,
like just white crackers, like just
yeah,
whatever you can get down sometimes too.
there's, there's a lot of ramen,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, because the
the
sodium,
closest to chicken noodle soup.
yeah, the sodium helps. Yeah, makes you
So,
calm.
yeah. So I loved the 80/20. Like, and like
Yeah,
I said, I still have more to do, but I'm like, I can manage that
right.
because it's like, it's not that I can never have those things again, or when I'm allowed to have those things, I
Yeah,
go overboard. So that's the other, I know sometimes the intermittent fasting too, I've kind of thought, sort of tried that, but I just overdo it. Like,
yeah. End up binging on the stuff that
yeah,
you like taken away
should,
from yourself, and then you're like, oh,
yeah. Because that was the other big change is there was a little bit, and I don't want to admit this out loud to people, but like last year I was like, well, I just won't eat much during the day because then I can just drink all my calories at night and just eat. But then I was so hungry,
right.
and like I'd have like a coffee during the day.
Mm,
And so with you, I did go back into like, okay, make sure I have something for breakfast, make sure I have something for lunch.
right.
Um, and I think that's like set my metabolism back. I feel like I'm much more in balance. Like I'm not as out of whack
For sure.
um with that. So that's really, really helped too. Like I kind of, you just have like your set, like my granola and yogurt. That's my
Yeah.
breakfast.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that
Um,
routine, simple things that you
yeah,
just consistently have. You don't have to think about it. Imagine thinking of a brand new breakfast every day. Like, you don't need to. It's just pretty much the same each day. Just keep that pattern.
yeah,
But yeah, you're right about the metabolism. Like having no food stresses the body actually. So that's another factor that people don't think about. Yes, I understand the science behind intermittent fasting. I don't believe most people know how to do it properly, and that's the downfall is the binge effect. So yeah, just having those consistent meals would definitely reset the body and make it
yeah,
more functional, working much better. So
yeah.
it's good, buddy.
So that's another big, I've gone back to regular eating.
Yes, good. Yeah, you're not just holding out for the wine later. So these are all amazing habits. And thank you for saying you started with small steps because I think people often want to go from 0 to 100 and the body just doesn't work like that. We need to, and our mindset doesn't work like that. Our mentality, our emotions, if we cut, I always use my thing. If I cut mac and cheese completely out of my my diet, I'd be like, mac and cheese, like I'd overdo it. I have it like once a month, once every couple weeks,
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
So Lozza, you won the trip to Bali. You are the ultimate ewer of K2Fit. Yes, the ultimate ewer, that is a word because it's K2Fit. We made it up. So with the ultimate ewer prize, so you won the trip to Bali, a 2-night stay with retreats, and also with that, I just want to talk about the ultimate ewer for a second, and then you can share a little bit of how you became the ultimate ewer, what you achieved in these 10 weeks, because the ultimate ewer, a lot of people see like a transformation challenge just about the physical aspect, only the before and after photos next to each other, right? And if we look at your before and after photos, you have massive, massive changes, which is so, so cool, right? But with that said, hundreds of people had massive change. So what makes you the ultimate ewer? It's all about the lifestyle as well, which is like implementing the lifestyle habits that you put in place on these 10 weeks, right? So you are the ultimate ewer, you change your lifestyle, you change your body and the inside and out. Can you tell us what on the body transformation outside changes you made in the 10 weeks?
So first of all, I really did not want to take those before pictures. Like,
I know,
no,
I know.
no.
But
I
you did.
didn't like looking. I I did take them,
Mm,
and I am really glad that I did.
yes.
And it does make me very nervous that the world can see them now, but it's all right. It's
Okay.
worth it because it was amazing to see them side by side. And when you see yourself every day, you don't necessarily see those changes.
Right.
And so to see it was like, oh, there is some definition, and I can see my stomach again. Like, and I'm like, I wasn't sucking it in. I was flexing, but I was like, wow, there are muscles in my stomach.
Yeah.
Um, so that was amazing, like to actually kind of see. And I had done 3 so far because I did when I started 365 at the start of the 10-week challenge, and then so it was
Yeah.
very fun to see. And I know at least from the 365, I think when I started that, it was actually a total of 9 kilos
Okay.
that I've lost
Yep.
from
Amazing.
the 10 week would be a little bit less.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe like 7 or
'Cause
something, I think.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But then
So
it was also the centimeters, and I hope I measured correctly. I do my best, but even I'm trying to look at my numbers, but like where's like the waist? Like it was in the 100 centimeters, and then it was under 100 by the time I
right.
think I had 107 at one point, down to like 97.
Yeah.
And so that was also really fun just to see like, oh, that is less. But then I could also feel it in my clothes. It was
Right. Yes,
um
definitely.
I was saying that at come summer, I was like, I was running out of clothes to wear, and now I'm putting some tops on. I was like, oh, this is way too big, like way too baggy. Or even the pants, I was like, I might need to find a belt for these.
Right.
um so
That's
like
good.
that was the
What
other,
a good
or
feeling.
and like my bras, I had the extenders from the maternity days way back
Okay.
when, to make them bigger, and I
Mhm.
had to start using those again for some of my bras in order to get them to fit. And then I was like, oh wait, no, I don't need that anymore. Like that needs to go.
That's so
So
cool.
the fact that I could take those things away that was a really good feeling too. Is
Yeah.
that clothes were fitting again,
Hmm.
or if anything too big, which
Yeah.
I'd rather have that.
Yeah.
And then yeah, to actually see, and I'm American, so I actually think more in pounds, but I was like, 9 kilos, that's like almost 20 pounds. Like
20
that would have
pounds.
seemed
Yeah. Yeah.
undoable before. Like that just seemed, and so all of a sudden my goal of wanting to lose like 40 to 50 pounds total, I'm like, oh, I can do this.
Yes.
Like I was like, kind of my goal is this next summer, 2023, when we go back to the States. And I'm like, oh, no, I can do that. If I've already done 9 kilos, 20 pounds now,
Yeah.
second half of the year, I was like, I've got this. I,
Yeah.
I can do this, which that was also that really, and not feel completely deprived and like,
Right.
like, I don't know. It doesn't feel as hard as I thought it would feel.
Yeah. And it's
Granted, there were moments, and you
like,
helped me through those moments.
yeah, yes, good, good. I'm glad. Always text me, let me know. Yeah, I'm sure when you first started, like knowing that you wanted to lose 50 pounds, like that's a big goal, right? And
Yeah.
so like it's hard to see, let's say, light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing. Like, oh, how am I gonna get like losing 50 pounds? And you're doing it. You so
Yeah.
20 already, you're like almost halfway there, right? And you've got like all the behaviors, the habits, you know what to do, you know if you slide back, how to pick yourself back up and keep moving forward, you know how to 80-20 rule your food, you know that you can still enjoy stuff, but you of course want to eat healthy as well, right?
Yeah.
So it's so doable, bud. Like we're in December, what we got 6-7 months. Yeah, so doable. We're good. You're gonna do it. Watch, you'll win the ultimate your next challenge too. Stuff. Thank you, buddy, so much. Because if you know you're eating a little bit of the foods that, yeah, indulging. It's the portions. Just don't go mass portions, because that's where you're gonna put on weight, is that you're just overeating, overindulging, but enjoy.
Over.
Yeah. That's just my one
Yeah.
tip I would say. Just
Cool.
like enjoy
Cool.
the stuff, just portion control as much as you can.
Yeah. Cool.
Sweet, buddy.
All right.
All right. Well, it's been a pleasure.
Maybe I'll take a shower. Maybe I won't.
Yeah, you stink, buddy. Just kidding. All right, buddy.
The beauty of Zoom. You can't
Yeah,
tell.
exactly.
All right.
I'll see you soon.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.